Wild rose country. That's what they call it. Don't see why you'd name a place after a little flesh-ripping weed when there are so many other distractions. One time a fancy pants came from the city and told me he'd seen the strangest thing on the road. Turns out it was a dandyhorse, a bicycle as it came to be known, but with two scraggly-looking people on it. Trappers down on their luck, prospectors late to the show. Hell, maybe just a horse crap story from a stranger wanting a bit of attention out here on the prairies. Got to give that city type credit though. Most of them tales I've been told been washed out of my head by cheap liquor. 2 men on a dandy horse though. That's a hell of a story.
I think I've got 6 very different companions joining me on this trip. 2 of them are English, 1 of them is Australian, and the rest are Canadian. And between them all, we're going to cycle around the province. I think it's about 2,000 miles maybe, and seek out as much fun stuff as we can. As per usual, I don't really have any idea what that's going to look like.
All right, let's do this. All right.
How fast are you guys going? Going 50 kilometers an hour.
Yesterday, just before we went to bed, you mentioned that you played netball. I thought that was a girl's sport.
Traditionally, it is a girl's sport, so for a single guy, it's actually pretty good.
And what happened? You got checked by a girl and ruptured your cruciate ligament?
That was my netball career finished. So I started traveling, exploring the world, see what there was out there.
And this is what you found? A tandem and a pretty boy.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
Now, the more I heard about these folk on that contraption, the more I got to thinking. They were up to something, looking for something maybe. I couldn't rightly say what. That as it may be, the urge to find whatever it was must have been awful powerful. They went clear out of the city, out of my backyard too.
Even though this is obviously on the road, we're only 3 kilometers from the US border here in the south of Alberta. And there are a couple of houses, there's even a store that apparently is open sometimes. It feels even emptier than it would be if it was complete wilderness. Hey, you probably want this for your ass. That would do the trick.
I bet you it would.
That is good stuff.
I bet it is.
Pain relieving, first day salve.
You've got your racing saddle on.
Got the racing saddle so we can go extra fast, Dom, but doesn't seem to be working right now. Causing some severe down there pain.
I'm not surprised.
Most of the hearsay came from the Blackfoot tribe in the early travels of those vagabonds. They'd see that dandy horse coming from miles away over the prairie. Ain't no mining around these parts. Not many buffalo left to hunt either. They figured that fella and his various companions must have been hunting for something else, searching the drawings and the bluffs for clues of mystical creatures, perhaps, or sifting the ground for evidence of a great creator.
Could this be someone that's fallen or something?
I've heard many, so you see the legs there. Some think that this could be representing death.
Hell, I always had my suspicions that they might have been dumb enough to look for a jackalope or some other figment of an overactive imagination. Whatever it was they were hunting for, they kept at it, scraping around, pedaling down the road a little ways, then scraping around some more.
Guaranteed there's hundreds of full skeletons in the park still undiscovered. There's tens of thousands of fossils. What you do to do this test is lick your finger, press it down onto the rock or the fossil, give it a second, and fossils are porous, so it's like the surface is made up of millions of tiny little suction cups that are going to probably stick as you try the lick test. So go for it.
The champsosaur is inspiration for the modern day bicycle saddle. Found some teeth, a lot of dinosaur bones, and some just probably deer shit.
But it's not fossil.
It's not fossil.
This is.
That's my bad then. Sorry. I was pretty sure that was fossilized.
My mother used to tell me that too much poking around in other people's business will bring bad luck. Those two must have poked around with an awful big stick to bring rains like I'd never seen before in nearly a lifetime on the prairie.
Ollie just said to me that it looked like it was brightening up, but there was a distinct anxiety in his voice, like he didn't really want it to. Perfect conditions. We got about probably another 15 kilometers of headwinds before we turn and have a nice side wind or something.
It's a good day to get an induction, isn't it?
It is. This is like Cycle Touring 101 basic training boot camp. 60 or 70 kilometers till we get to what's probably going to be a soaking campsite. Farmer Wayne has kindly let us camp on his property here, about a mile away from his house, a safe distance from his children, I think, next to what he calls the haunted house. Unfortunately, the pigeons got here first, so we've been relegated to the outdoors.
It was the first house we saw for what, 80 kilometers?
Yeah.
Like that.
First group of houses, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a special place. I've really enjoyed the kind of nothingness of the prairie today.
It's very humbling. This sort of expanse of land.
A lady from the bar last night told us we should head down to Brooks, which is currently what we're doing. It's about 10 kilometers out of our way. Apparently, it's a bit of a North American pastime where young children raise their own animals and then show them. So it's like I'm hoping it's a little bit like a petting zoo.
And what's going to be your favourite animal? What are you most looking forward to, Don?
I don't know. Do you think anyone might have raised some gerbils?
Some gerbil, there may well be.
I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of very small children in very big Stetsons I'm a little scared of having bullwhips cracked at me by 7-year-olds.
We've got a mouthful of AAA Alberta beef. Sitting at a beef judging 4-H's competition.
4-H means a head, heart, health, and hands, the 4-H's. I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, and my country. You need to clean him and you need to brush him up. I only like doing his butt because he likes his butt being touched, so...
So Brooklyn and her friends just putting the final touches on their cow.
Yeah, she has it.
Our new friend Brooklyn, it's not a bad result. Second, might have scraped into first had the cow not disgraced itself or the steer not disgraced itself right at the last minute of grooming. So I think it was a solid performance. Well, actually it wasn't that solid. But you know what? How did you guys know? Because I saw a wet wipe come out actually before that poop hit the ground.
Because you can notice because his tail moves up.
Nice.
That's when you can know that he's gonna poop. His tail moves.
So you were ready.
Yeah.
So Ollie, we're looking at about 65 kilometres and diminishing for your journey left with us.
Yeah.
Looks like we might break it up with a breakfast in Dorothy.
I think that sounds excellent. The single sachet of banana and nut porridge didn't quite do it for me this morning.
Didn't quite cut it.
So Linda, how long have you been at B&B here?
About 7 years. I was raised in the house.
Really?
And then I moved away and raised 6 kids. And then Mum and Dad died, so we moved back here.
A little different from Farmer Wayne's house, Wayne Senior's house.
Oh, and then I told your wife about Nickelbacks.
The band?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Ryan played in our hall last summer.
We're all huge fans of Nickelback here.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely still in use. Some fairly fresh toilet roll in there.
This was your school?
I went here for 9 years.
When's the last time this was a school?
It would be about the late 50s, 59.
Okay.
We all did shop because we mostly had boys. And I built a doghouse, but then I couldn't get it out of the door, so I had to take it apart and rebuild it outside.
It's pretty amazing that your teacher didn't kind of help you figure that out before.
No, we had to learn the hard way. Do you know The Bachelorettes in the TV show?
The Bachelorettes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, we did this in 652. We're way ahead of time.
Did they end up getting married?
No, none of them got married. They were all confirmed bachelors.
Okay then, Linda. Yeah, see you again. Thank you so much.
I remember that valley. Back in the days when it was booming with all the gold coming out of it. Now, well, them greedies with the dollar bills in their eyes all drifted away. It's just the good souls left over. Even if those Dandyhorse riders didn't find what they were looking for, I'm pretty sure they benefited from some good company and a little lubrication, if you know what I mean.
"65 kilometres away from Edmonton with a vegan chef. A very rare breed in Alberta indeed, I would say. The home of beef.
I find a lot of times when I travel it's hard for me to find certain items to eat. So I made a lot of just snacks and different foods.
Oh wow, you can see like the grains of pollen and stuff in there.
There's bee pollen in there, there's hemp seeds, there's sunflower, there's everything. There's lots of calories there for you.
Tastes like it. Tastes remarkably heavy. In a good way.
Yeah.
This vegan thing's all right, actually. Colleen's cooked a lot of tasty treats. The fruity balls of dense energy are my personal favourite. closely followed by the cookies. I'm going to be brutally honest here. The chia pudding breakfast is very low on the totem pole in the vegan tastiness spectrum.
Colleen quite rightly said you can fit 2 people here. Right, slightly restricted, but certainly much better than sleeping outside.
Barely any genitalia to actually dry. They're all snugly up in my stomach.
So Dom offered up the controls to me today. I was at the helm, piloting away. A little shaky starting out. It's very complicated. There's a lot of controls up here, but I'm getting used to it. Some nervous cries coming from Dom behind me. Dom says I smell like meat sauce or something like that, but I didn't mention anything about his scent riding behind him for 2 days straight.
So Kenton, how does it feel to be back in your hood?
Back in my hood? I like it. The mountains make me feel like I'm back home again. Like I was saying, it's always sunny in Jasper.
Always sunny in Jasper.
Nothing but sunshine and rainbows.
It's amazing. And unicorns. A few unicorns in there?
Yeah, we'll see some. I can pretty much guarantee it.
Yeah.
Ken, I really know very little about unicorn hunting. Yeah. How do you hunt unicorns?
You have to be very quiet because they're frightened easily, and contrary to popular belief, they don't have wings, so they can't fly away.
Right.
That's to our benefit.
What exactly did you know about this trip before you came out here? Not a whole bunch, I don't think.
No, not a lot really. That I'd be cycling and camping, and there might be some bears.
They say that fella on that Dandyhorse was a little touched. Clear off his rocker, some say. Too much time on the road. That would account for why his partners never lasted long on his travels. I've seen it before. The look in the eye of the prospectors that ain't got a set of reins in their head, only a set of spurs. They won't stop looking for whatever it is they conjured up in their brain, not until they turn blue and freeze to their seat or get swept downstream. I'd wager those folks on the back of that machine saw sense after a few days of searching high and low and got the hell out while they still could.
I think Amanda is exhausted, quite rightly so. It's been a tough day, especially if you're not used to cycling. We just climbed up a 2,000 meter pass. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get cooking before she falls asleep.
I don't know how he does it. He's just like, how he's just like inhumane, I think. It's kind of scary. It's a bit kind of, it veers from inspirational to, he's obviously a bit lunatic.
20 kilometers away from going horse riding.
Yeah, I'm hoping the horse is more forgiving in the saddle than this bike is.
I suppose them Dandyhorse riders ain't so different from us cowboys. I guess we're all a little touched. We suffer from saddle sores, and we like a little horseplay once in a while.
One of the things we're going to be doing today is going through cowboy school. Stan, you wouldn't describe yourself as a horse person?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination.
The saddle's loads wider. It's a little more comfortable, I think. The ride out here on Lopez was lovely. About to learn to do a little bit of cowboy training. Cracking whips, roping cameramen.
Cowboys have a lot of skills, and roping is one of them. And roping you can use for, catching cattle or horses when you're trying to break them. And you want to be able to let go of your coils because that's what gives you the distance. And when you're ready to let go,
you can see what's going to happen.
When you're ready to let go, you just open your hand around your target, and you got it.
Just between you and I, well, Mary Ann might have been right about the darker side of life. There ain't much action, man, in the country since I lost my driving wheels on a pickup bed. There ain't much action, man, in the city where the lights shine bright, but I had my eye from my regret.
I rolled this story around and round in my empty head for some time now, trying to figure out what drove these folks to stray more than 1,500 miles on that Dandyhorse. You don't need a reason to ride the fences and see what's out there. You just need a sturdy pair of boots and a gut that's hankering for a big old plate of something different.